This is a special operation, how Putin can keep power in Kremlin. And he canceled all of the independent media. This is not an election. This is a special operation. This is manipulation. This is falsification and fraud.
For a decade, Boris Nemtsov was one of Russia's most high-profile voices of dissent. Last month, that voice was silenced within sight of the Kremlin. His daughter, Zhanna, is in no doubt who she believes is responsible.
He was a critic of Putin. He fought with Putin, with nobody else.
Therefore, it's Putin that you blame for his death?
Politically, yes. Politically.
We travelled to northern Italy to meet Ms. Nemtsova. She and her father used to come here on family holidays. On the night of the killing, though, Zhanna was in her Moscow apartment and her mother was in the next room.
I was asleep, but I heard from my room that my mother was yelling and crying, and I thought that somebody had attacked her. So I came into her room and asked what was going on, and she told me. At the first moments, I couldn't believe in that, and now, still, I cannot believe.
Can I ask you very specifically, do you think President Putin ordered your father to be killed?
I don't have evidence, but politically, he is responsible.
What was his mood in those last days and weeks?
He has been under pressure, under political pressure for the last decade. But he was a very strong man. He tried to resist. There was a lot of stress. But he was a fighter.
Did he ever talk about feeling personally under threat?
We talked about the possibility of him putting into jail, of the imprisonment, but he has never mentioned that there is a substantial threat that he could be killed. No.
The arrest of 5 suspects from Chechnya has led some to suggest that the killing may have been linked to Islamist extremism. His supporters dismiss that as nonsense. Mr. Nemtsov was also working on a report detailing Russia's military involvement in eastern Ukraine. His daughter says they discussed the report, but that she's not been able to access her father's apartment, nor the computers on which he kept his files.
Officially, technically, Russian troops are not involved in the military conflict in Ukraine. But what they actually do is that these soldiers resign from the army and then they go there. By order.
And he had concrete evidence of that, did he? That he was planning to publish? I'm trying to establish whether there was a clear motive for his murder.
I have already told you, I have explained to you the real motive. He was, for 1 decade, he was the most prominent critic of Putin. He was the most powerful leader of the opposition in Russia, the most powerful. And I've told you that after his death, the opposition is beheaded and everybody is frightened, people and politicians, both of them.
Zhanna and Boris were close. Their relationship was, she told me, first and foremost, that of father and daughter. She supported his politics, she says, but wouldn't have described herself as a political activist. But his killing has changed all of that.
After I've expressed my opinion on the murder, I think that authorities in Russia could regard me as a political activist.
And are you therefore afraid to go back?
I'm not afraid. I will go back on the 15th of March. But I said, but they have killed my father. I cannot just keep silence. It's absolutely impossible.
Well, Gabriel talking to Zhanna Nemtsova there, the daughter of Boris Nemtsov.